Have you ever met some powerhouse industry leaders that have actually experienced the power of going viral on social media? Have you ever talked to someone up close and personal that actually is part of the most powerful branding from 0 to 120, right, per se, in their own life? Have you ever wondered how all this comes together? So that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today on Agents in the Trenches. We're actually speaking with some of my good friends, industry experts that have made this happen for themselves. And right now they're leading from the front lines, like I always like to say, on their personal brand, getting out there, becoming a somebody, making an influence, making things happen. So we're going to have an incredible conversation. So welcome to this next episode of Agents in the Trenches, the space and the place to be, to really know about the real, the raw, and the realities of what's happening in the trenches when we get out there into the real world of real estate. So as usual, I have my running partner, Talia. Good to see you, Talia.
Hi.
And we have Carly, who's going to be joining us, our TikTok viral guru. And then last but not least, we have Monica Villa, our top team leader in Southwest Florida, who's going to be talking to us about branding. So Talia, open up the conversation today because we are ready to dive deep into this amazing conversation.
Well, I want to take it back to when we were deciding, like, okay, what should our next episode be about? And then we were kind of tossing back and forth is, okay, what struggles, people or agents specifically are having in the marketplace? And one thing you said was marketing, right? I mean, you hear people talking about, oh, you have to market yourself, you have to build your brand, you have to do this, you have to do that. But a lot of times, I mean, it's so vague, right? It's so open. Like, what do you do? What do you mean I got to brand myself? How do I brand myself? How do I create videos that, make an impact? So, I think that this episode, I know for sure it's going to be incredible. It's going to help a lot of people out. I know I am going to be a student here as well because, the more we know about what, each of you guys are doing, the better, we are, right, to be able to serve our people and to be able to serve others. So I'm super excited, to start this conversation and had to have both of you powerhouses here just sharing. So thank you so much for being open-minded and accepting our, invitation to be
Yes,
on here and sharing what you guys are doing. So thank you.
absolutely.
Thank you to the both of
Yes.
you guys. So who do we want to kick it off with first? I mean, I'm just so excited to dive right in.
I know, right? So let's kick it off with Carly. Carly, you joined us. Thank you so much for being here. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself and just kick it off with a little snippet about who you are on TikTok, how you got there, and then we'll open that conversation. And then we'll hear from Monica Villa, right? Top producer, also introducing herself, and we'll just kind of let this roll.
Okay. I'm Carly Allison. I'm the Celebration Title Group Success Partner for Southwest Florida. And I've been a realtor for almost a decade now. And then a couple of years ago, I thought, I'll try to, start working on TikTok and see what I can do, see if I can build some kind of following. I had a partner at that point, and she had kind of left our team. So it was just kind of me solo, and I wanted to see, I had all this opportunity and this ability to do kind of whatever I wanted without having to consult with my teammate anymore. So TikTok was something I was really interested in. I thought, I started out going through tours and doing open houses and showcasing properties, and I just wasn't getting any traction. So I thought, I need to do something kind of out of the box, something that I would want to watch on TikTok. I go to TikTok and I watch funny things. I don't go there to learn. Sometimes I'll do, hacks or cleaning tips or something. This is what I'll go look for. So I thought, I'll just do something funny, something that's engaging. And so I started using my experience of all those transactions that I've done in the past. I've done 250, 300 transactions over these years. And I started pulling these funny stories, I had to pick up a real estate client from jail the night before closing. I had to, talk to a seller that wanted me to sell their house for free. I've had buyers call and ask me to give them my whole commission, funny things like that. And I just put it in a format that was fun to watch and just really found a niche for myself. And it just kind of exploded from there. I mean, like within 3 weeks, I had 30,000 followers. And I've been in magazines, I've been in TV, I've been all kinds of places just from the following. And now I've having endorsement deals popping up. So it's pretty interesting. It's fun.
Wow. Well, you're going to tell us more about that. So, Monica, tell everyone a little bit about you, who you are, what you do, where you're from.
Hi, Monica Vila with Realty Executives. I have been licensed for 10 years and full-time for the last 5 years, actually 5 years this month, is when I took the leap of faith and left my corporate job of 17 years and decided that I was going to dedicate and follow what I was truly passionate about, and that's helping others. So I kind of from one day to the next, I said, all right, I'm going to do it. I'm going to start, from the bottom and just work my way. And I am also an agent mentor, and that is a very rewarding part of it, helping people that are like me when I got started and helping them build their clientele and learning the ins and outs. So, and a lot of it I can contribute to Lucy and her wonderful team. They've really pulled me out of my shell. It's actually been 1 year today, Lucy, since I actually spoke at my first event. It came up as a Facebook memory.
Oh, wow. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? I love that. So let's go right through there. Tell us a little bit about your journey in that. I mean, thank you. I obviously am super grateful to take those accolades, right? Because I consider myself a potential hunter, right? I see the potential in people. But tell everybody a little bit about how it began. I know I invited you. Break it down for everyone just a little bit.
Yep. So Lucy had invited me to, I had actually met Lucy at a church event that I had attended. And they had different segments, and one of them was on business. And I decided that I would take her class because we do breakout sessions. And I was just so drawn to everything that she was saying. And she was just very, very, it spoke to me. She wasn't, she just brought it so real. And I said, man, I've got to get to know her. So at that time, that's where I met her and I started following her. And Pastor Melinda, I believe, introduced us and said, you guys need to link up, and that's where you started inviting me to your events. And I was very reluctant to go. And then you're like, oh, come on, you can be on our panel. And I said no several times, but your persistence is what won me over. And I said, yep, I'm going to do it. She's like me. She doesn't take no for an answer. So I like that. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. And, I can honestly say that I've seen your process grow and flourish. And so I know we're going to come back and hear a little bit about how you've branded yourself. But I'm super excited to see that now you are, out there, rocking and rolling and putting yourself in front of audiences. And, I'm super proud of everything that you're doing. And I can't wait to see what the future holds. So let's go back with Carly. Carly, so what do you tell someone? Like, I'm in the middle of finishing up a real estate licensing course. Today is actually our graduation day. And I'm surprised how many people don't have social media, and they're entering the world of real estate, and they're wanting to be that go-to, person for the community and the industry. Break it down for people. How do they begin, and why do they need to do it?
To start, I had a Facebook, and then it was just basically friends and family, and then I opened it up and started adding. It's really important as far as I'm concerned on Facebook to add your friends and your family and then your clients. Once you add your clients on your Facebook and you connect with them in that social way, you get to know them a little better. You know their why they do this, why they're purchasing. You get involved in their lives, and it creates that connection and that bond. So they're not only a client for this transaction, they're forever. And that's the way my clients are. I have 100% retention rate. And referrals they're going to come from that. So that's a really important part of it. And as far as Instagram, TikTok, those kinds of things, that's just going to get your name out there. It's going to help with branding. It's going to help with exposure, market saturation. People think of real estate, they think of you. I mean, there are a lot of people in other states that when they think of Southwest Florida real estate, they literally think of me because of my TikToks. I get referrals from all over the country from my TikToks. They just think she's funny, she's a fun person, she's also knowledgeable. I want to work with her. So it not only represents you as a brand, but it also showcases your value. And I think that's really important as an agent to showcase your value, because you do have value. And especially in this market, you've got to be able to get that out there and explain it to people what your value is.
Wow. Monica, shine right in. What do you think about that? How did you get yourself up and going?
Same way. I started with just a Facebook page, and that was so nerve-wracking for me because I was what you would call a secret agent for 5 years. I was licensed and I only did deals for friends and close friends and family. Nobody really knew that I was licensed. So when I came back into, when I went full-time into it, I remember that January, I was like, all right, it's new year. I started a Facebook business page, and I was so nervous because I was like, oh, the market's so saturated with agents. And then I remember hearing somewhere along the line, but there's only one you. So there'll be people that will work with me. There's plenty for everybody. So I had to change my mindset and say, I'm just going to throw myself out there. And I started with Facebook, and it's kind of went from there. I have YouTube, which I put my TV shows on there, the segments on there, and Instagram, of course, that's mainly for branding. And I just post regularly. And sometimes I feel like I'm probably annoying people, but I get a significant amount of referrals based on my Facebook and Instagram. People, I'm top of mind because they're like, oh yeah, you're in, I have a question, or hey, can you help so-and-so? And just by them knowing, being a secret agent isn't going to get anybody anywhere.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So Talia, we have another guest here that has joined us. You want to go ahead and introduce our guest, and we'll bring him into the conversation?
Sure. So we have here Lisa Chambers from the president. You want to go ahead and introduce yourself really quickly?
Hi, everyone.
Yes.
Thank you for welcoming me. I'm Lisa Chambers. I'm president of Unlimited Mortgage Resources, licensed in Ohio and Florida, and a lot of different programs, non-quality mortgage programs, investment programs. We work on a national level. And I just loved when I met Lucy because I could sense her passion and her level of faith. And I'm also a minister. I have a doctorate of divinity. I've written some Christian books and a nonprofit founder. So it was just an attraction, and she reached out to me, and I feel so blessed because I believe that God puts people in our lives for a reason. And I just love the passion. I love the community that she's developed, but I love what she said when she asked you, are you surprised at how many people don't have social media? And it's so important today because one of the most important aspects of marketing in today's, especially real estate and the financial markets, is digital marketing. And I've recently become an AI certified coach.
Wow.
And you really have to learn how to dig into these various AI tools to be relevant in the industry. And to get your message out there. The saying is true. AI will not take your job from you. Someone using AI will. And there's so many incredible AI tools that streamlines so many applications to help you be successful. So I'm happy to share and anything that I can to help you guys be as successful as possible.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Lisa, and thank you for having that common denominator of faith. I am definitely a woman of faith. I wouldn't be here without it.
Since that we met, and I'm grateful for that.
So speaking on what we do and how we do it every day, let's do a round robin with these fine, industry experts that are joining us here today. How do you maintain consistency? So let's kick it off with Carly, then Monica, then Lisa. How do you maintain consistency? Because I know one of the biggest challenges for me is I don't always feel like doing the video, the live. I don't always feel like doing what I know I need to do to keep my message out there, to be that messenger, to be the voice. How do you keep that consistency? What's that number one secret that you use? That secret sauce? how do you make yourself do what you don't want to do when you know you have to do it?
For me, a calendar runs my life. If it is not on my calendar, even the most minute detail of things to do for the day, it does not get done. So having that calendar is just the physically gets me to do it. But then mentally for me, it's seeing those numbers tick up, seeing those likes, seeing those shares. And that it's almost like, it's like a hit of dopamine, and I love it. And so I am constantly watching, I'm constantly checking, and I'll drive my kids crazy. I'll post something on TikTok and I'll say, oh, it's been a minute and there's 1,200 likes. Oh, it's been 10 minutes and there's, 11,000 likes. And they get so aggravated, especially as, young kids and young adults, they have TikToks and they don't have any following, and they get frustrated that their mom does. But it's, for me, it's the watching it grow. The growth is something that
It
drives me and motivates me to keep myself doing it. And the more I do it, the more it grows. It's really incredible.
Awesome. Well, definitely, like you just said, it's a shot of dopamine, right?
Mm-hmm.
The happy chemicals, the happy hormones. But I don't always have, the dopamine doesn't always do it for me. So I'll play devil's advocate. So Monica, what else is it for? What keeps you doing what you don't always feel like doing?
So often, if I feel that way, I remind myself that I've made a promise to myself. And like Carly said, if it's on my calendar, I'm going to do it. And if it's, or on my to-do list, I'm going to check it off. And to me, whatever I commit to for that particular day or that particular time frame, I stick to it. Because then if I can't keep a promise to myself, how can I keep a promise to my clients, just in general? So I hold myself accountable to do that. And I use that in every aspect of my life, as far as even, getting up and praying and journaling and exercising. Like, I make a commitment to myself that that's what I'm going to do. Same thing with the posting and the marketing, even though sometimes I don't feel like doing it. And it's funny because often some of the things that I post that I don't think will even whatever, because I'm really not just feeling it that day, those would be the ones that get the most action for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's super. I love that. If it's not on your calendar, you won't do it. So do you actually write every single, I'll come back and ask that question because I want you to break it down even more. But Lisa, go ahead and tell us, how do you keep consistency? I don't know if you're on social media or if you are, whatever you do, how do you keep that consistency going?
Well, I agree with what Monica said. I mean, I think it's important for me to start my morning. It's with coffee on my lanai and in the Word. So that usually is enough to empower my day, just having that scripture and the Word behind me. But the neat thing about the AI technology, getting back to that, is that even if you're an introvert, the days that if you're an extrovert that you do have that energy, there's tools out there where you can take an hour-long video and that will break that video down into 10 smaller clips. And take, for instance, TikTok, you usually get higher ratings the shorter the videos are. So you can just take one day a week and make a longer video of your industry or of your properties. And the AI technology will take those videos and break them down into 10 separate scripts. Likewise, there's script writers out there where you can enter a script, and you can do that after using other tools to research the internet on what are the top 20 questions being asked by potential buyers in my Southwest Florida market today. And you'll receive a population of what those questions are, create a video based on that, break it down into smaller segments. And then when you post that, especially if you do it on a blog or through a website or an area where you already have a following, you're going to see that Google will automatically take you and you're going to be launched to the top of the SEO chain when there's research is done. So it kind of goes back to technology. I mean, sadly, if you're out of the loop of marketing today, it's going to be difficult. And especially, I've been in this business 32 years, so I'm no baby. And I've seen tons of highs and lows. And this isn't quite the 2008 years, but it's really close because the interest rates have been raised by the feds in such a swift amount of time. You know, we were promised 6 to 7 rate cuts this year, which we've yet to see. They will come. I know that. So it's a matter of what can we do to market properties differently or keep ourselves out there, because it's going to pop. Rates will drop. There's an influx. We have season coming. It's always slower in Southwest Florida during the summer. The northern markets are much hotter at this time of year, but learn AI, learn technology, dig in, learn what chat GPT prompts you need to use for your industry. There's just so many tools. You don't even have to have your face there. There's avatars that you can use if you don't feel like making a personal video. So there's no excuse in my mind.
I love it. So let's go around again talking about marketing and branding. So Carly, what would you say is your number one tip? I mean, for people that are getting into the industry, Lisa said it best. She said, AI won't replace you, but somebody using AI will, right? And I'm surprised how many people don't even know how to use ChatGPT, don't even know how to put prompts into ChatGPT, don't even think of using ChatGPT.
Exactly.
And listen, I'm definitely not certified in it, but I've been using it since January. Every time I use it, I learn more and more. So give us a tip, Carly. Give us a tip to all those thousands of agents in Southwest Florida that are not getting the 12,000 likes like you are, but we want to.
It's really important to know your value, to know why people should use a real estate agent and to begin with, and then why you are special, what you do, what is your individuality. You know, my CEO just did a conference the other day, and she made that message. She said, you know, what is your individuality? What is your, you know, what do you provide your clients that nobody else does? And I think that's really important, that you have confidence in yourself, that you know what you're doing. And not a lot of new agents, you know, may struggle with that. And that's one of the things we do here at Celebration is we help you, you know, learn your value. We give you value. And I think that is the most important thing you can do for yourself in any career that you have, but especially in real estate, is be valuable and be able to showcase it to someone. And if you can find a way to amp up your business while doing it, using TikTok or Instagram or Facebook, any kind of social media, YouTube is great. But that is essentially showing your value to people. You know, I'm sure when Monica makes those videos that she's showing value of herself over other agents. And I mean, that's what gets her business, is they look at her and then they look at someone else and say, well, look, yeah, this is a good real estate agent, but look at this real estate agent. You know, she knows so much about this area. She's showing her value to me. And I think that's really important because she obviously knows her value.
Oops, sorry.
So Monica, let's take that from there. So how did you answer that question? Because I always have a heart for the underdogs. I always have a heart for the people that, man, they want to, but they don't know how to. And I always want to bring that disintegrated, those bite-sized nuggets that, I mean, like those little gummy bear vitamins for, you know, little kids. How did you find your value? Because we all hear, oh, find your why. And sometimes like, I don't even know. So how did you find your value? How did you find how you were going to brand yourself? How did you find your way? Break it down for us.
Yeah. So I think for me, it was just very important to be authentic, to be myself, not to try to be too stuffy. I try to bring humor, to post positive things, and also show a little bit about my life. So like my children, or, maybe a vacation. And it's important that people also can relate to you, that, hey, she's a mom as well. She's a wife as well. And then like Carly had said, just being an expert in your area and sharing that. And I try to be as relatable as possible. I try to just keep it 100% authentic.
So we're going to be right back. I think we're going to put a commercial because, let me tell you how I keep myself moving forward. Once I set my eye on what's the next best thing to do, I refuse to go back. I refuse to go back because it's so easy to go back into your old ways. It's so easy to be in the comfort zone. It's so easy to go back to the same old, same old. So we have a commercial we're going to play, and it doesn't matter if we mess up. It's better done, right, imperfectly than perfectly never done. So we'll be right back, and let's hit it. All right, so let's continue here at Agents in the Trenches. If you guys just joined us, give us a hashtag live. If you are watching on replay, give us a hashtag replay. But yes, you guys just saw our mini commercial on the Max model, which is our affordable project in Cape Coral, the only brand new construction under $300,000. And it is not a townhome, because the other day I spoke with someone, an agent in the area, and I was like, yeah, but we have, this property is the lowest one on the market. And they were like, no, it's not. Well, they were comparing it to a townhouse, but this is a single family home. So let's continue this conversation. Let's bring everybody back to the stage, and let's take it to that next step, kicking it off with what I just said, right? Because Carly, Monica, Lisa, I'm sure that in your world of social media, branding, marketing, AI, whatever it is that you do, there's many times when you can kind of fall back into your, old routines, right? So how does discipline and, focus play a part in what you're doing in your social media universe? Carly, we'll kick it off with you, Monica, and then Lisa.
Discipline in my focus. So it's a lot easier for me, I guess, because I have such a template that I work off of when it comes to social media. I have a calendar for my social media for Instagram, so I kind of work off of that. I think it's really important, and that kind of goes back to AI, because I used AI to create that template. I mean, if you can go in and I think people forget that when you use AI, you don't talk to it like a robot. You don't talk to it. You don't talk to it like a Google search. That's not how you use it. You talk to it like it's the most intelligent person you've ever met.
Give us an example. Give us an example,
Okay.
Because listen, my staff, right? I got my staff. I'm like, you guys need to learn AI. I don't know it, but I need people that know it more than me. And I'm using it. So if I'm using it, you guys need to use it. But the prompts, and I'm sure Lisa can chime in on this, but how do you do that? Give us an example of how it's the most
So the
important
prompts. So one of the things, creating a schedule for our social media. So instead of just saying, give me a social media calendar for 30 days, you're going to say, I am a title rep for Celebration Title Group. I would like a 30-day calendar, including the post, the call to action, song choice, details, be very specific.
Wow.
I want to target real estate agents. I want to target buyers. I want to target for sale by owners, and set it up in a table that I can follow for a day. And it'll literally give you a table on the screen with every day, the content that you're going to be posting, the song that you should use to go with it, your call to action.
Wow.
And you can even break it down further and say, I want, 20% of them to be more personal, and I want, 80% of them to be, business driven. And so and you can change it and set up all your marketing that way. And then you can even go into Canva, which is a whole other can of worms, but you tie them together and just create, it can build your entire business just from AI. You can use it for your listing descriptions, put in the property and it'll just give you exactly what you want. And you can always say rewrite and then give it more specific instructions. Rewrite, give it more specific instructions. And I always tell people to remember, when you do an AI prompt, tell it to save this prompt as, and then give it a title. And then you can always tell it, refer back to prompt whatever and rewrite this for me. Wow. And then it will retain that information for you, because it's just a giant brain that's saved there for you to access. So you just talk to it like it's the most intelligent human being you've ever met. It's not a Google search.
Wow, that's so super interesting. Monica, are you using AI for any of your branding that you're doing? Tell us about that.
Yes, so I do. I use AI. I started using it for my listing descriptions, and that was an absolute game changer, as well as different for my posts. I'll go on there and say, okay, this is what I want. Now, I'm not I feel like I just learned. My mind was like right now when Carly was speaking, because I did not think of it that way. I was talking to it like one sentence at a time, and therefore that's the results that I'm getting. But I'm going to take Carly's advice and speak to it like it's the most intelligent person. And definitely, because I currently have a subscription with Agent Crate. It has different posting material and curated social, and they have different marketing material as well. But I might just be shifting over to the AI, save myself a little bit of money.
So Lisa, you are a certified AI instructor?
Correct. I received my certification through a group this year.
Actually, I love that.
Yeah, in the beginning of the year. So it's exciting. I use it to help myself market, but in order to stay relevant and dedicated, I think it's really just being the best we can be in servicing. And last year, out of over 70,000 mortgage professionals nationally, with one of my top investors in the nation, I was the fastest purchase closer. So I don't care how good technology is. It's like Monica said, there's only one me.
Wow.
And there's only one her. And we are as committed to our industry and our level of service. That is, no matter how good of marketing you do, if you don't stand behind that marketing and give the absolute best service possible, or continue to educate my agents on different things they can do. For instance, I had an agent with a $1 million plus listing, and the price kept being reduced. And I remember back in the early 90s teaching new construction builders how to sell 2-1 buy downs to offer 2% lower interest rates.
Okay.
And I said, hey, instead of reducing this another $50,000, let's have the seller pay the buy down cost. And on conventional loans and governments, it's a 2-1. But I do have a conventional program that'll have a 3-2-1 buy down. And in those cases, you're under 4% on the interest rate today. So when you give an agent an opportunity to go out and sell a 3% below market interest rate in these economic conditions, that's huge.
Right.
Because that's giving that buyer all of that money as an immediate savings. And the seller doesn't lose anything either way, versus paying that buy down or reducing the cost, the realtor's still able to get commission off of the higher list price with the seller covering the buy down cost. The buyer's happy. It gives them 2 to 3 years for rates to come down to refinance. There's no EPOs, no early payoffs. So it's education and marketing. But again, what Monica said is so critical. There's only one me.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, it's what we put into the servicing of our clients that matters.
I love it. So, Kelly, do you want to chime in with any questions? I know we're running out of time, but I have a question I'm going to close out with, but what are your thoughts?
I have a question directly for Monica. You mentioned something earlier where you said that, you felt like, you didn't want to bother people. And I hear that a lot with our agents, right? They can't help but to feel like they're bothering people. So I want you to shine some light on that. Like, how did you work past those feelings of, I'm not bothering someone, I'm depositing, value?
Yep. So I took it just as that. I like to help people. So then I thought, well, if I like to help people, I stuck around like-minded people and learned from them and grateful. And now I feel like I'm just giving it back. And I tell the agents that I mentor, because they'll text me sometimes, hey, I don't want to bother you. And I'm like, you're not bothering me. Call me, text me. I promise you, if I don't answer, I'm going to call you back. But to ask all the questions, no question is dumb. And, just ask, because that's the only way that you're going to learn, because I asked a ton of questions. My broker was probably up to here with me, and I'm still asked questions, and bounce things off of her and whatnot. But that is, that's what we should be doing. We should be relying on each other and helping each other out. So I feel like I've learned a great value today from Lisa and Carly as well. This has been great.
All right, so we're going to be wrapping it up with this one question, and we're going to go round robin again with Carly, Monica, and Lisa. So on social media, when it comes to social media, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, YouTube, whatever you're using, what do you want to be known as, Carly?
So I want to be known as someone that is qualified to answer the questions that they're asking, qualified to give the advice that I'm giving, qualified to sit in front of this camera and answer your questions because of my experience, my education, anything that I've done to improve myself. I want that to be visible in everything that I do. And I want people to look at me as qualified. And then on top of being qualified, I want them to be grateful that they chose me to get that information from. And that's how I feel about my realtor partners. When I sign up a new real estate agent to use our title services, they get me in an exclusive way to where, we work together. We, just like Monica said, she bounces ideas off her broker. I do that for my agents, and I want people to feel that they're coming to somebody that's qualified, that can give them answers that can either expand their business as a real estate agent or as a client, guide them in the right way so that their home purchase or their home sale is done professionally and accurately.
I love it. Monica, what do you want to be known as on social media?
So knowledgeable and being authentic. I think like when they meet me at the grocery store, that I'm the same person that I am online. And I just did a funny video because I had a new headshots done and I was all fancy. But I got on there and I said, guys, and I had my ball cap on and my gym clothes. I said, 90% of the time, this is what you're going to get. And I had people message me because they were like, that is so true. That's, whatever. And then I also told them that I can't see. So if you see me in a grocery store and I'm not wearing my glasses or my contacts, I don't see you. So just being authentic and just being myself.
Love it. All right, Lisa, what do you want to be known as on social media and everything that you do with your AI?
I think everything these ladies said is fabulous, but yeah, authenticity, reliability, dedicated, committed, and I strive to be the best in my industry. But I also want to be known for giving back to my community and helping those in need and less fortunate. That's a huge part of my heart too. So I always try to give back in every way.
I love that. All right. Well, Dalia, you get to close this out, and I hope you guys join us again next Friday for
Thank you.
another episode of Agents in the Trenches. Carly, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day. Monica, I appreciate you a billion. Thank you for being here. And Lisa, it was amazing and wonderful not only to meet you a couple of weeks back, but to have you here as one of our guests as well.
Thank you. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's been a blessing. Nice to meet all of you ladies.
You as
Same to you.
well.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I definitely learned a lot. So thank you guys for sharing your golden nuggets. There's so many things that I picked up from here, and I'm sure that there's other people that are like, wow, like their mind is blown. So we definitely need to do like maybe a part two, and kind of go a little bit deeper into every segment that you guys talked about. But thank you so much, everyone, for watching. We love to hear your feedback. If there's anything specifically you want us to cover on Agents in the Trenches, reach out to us directly. But until next week, I hope you all have a great weekend and take care of yourselves. Bye.
You as well. Bye.
Have a
Thank
blessed
you.
weekend.